Hi guys, and welcome to a very unplanned special here. This is information that I just found out today and I wanted to share it with you. The Swedish government is about to implement a new law about the labeling of snus cans, and it will affect you, or could affect you at least initially, because they are fearing a snus shortage at the moment, because this is something that will be implemented with very short notice, and I will tell you all about it right now. So here we're looking at these two articles, one from Aftonbladet and one from Expressen, the two biggest dailies in Sweden. And I believe Aftonbladet came out with this this morning, the 27th of April 2016. You can also see here the European Parliament's directive about this. So we'll go through it here. What's happening in Sweden then with the new legislation? Basically, going back to April 2014, the EU imposed a directive. You can see it here, 2014-40 EU. And that's about the manufacturing, presentation and sale of tobacco products. And the deadline for national implementation of these regulations was set as the 20th of May 2016. Remember that date? So in early April 2016, the Swedish Parliament introduced a new law based on this directive. And then only yesterday, on the 26th of April 2016, the Public Health Agency of Sweden, which is a government agency, presented what the snus manufacturers have to comply with by this date again, the 20th of May 2016. So the same day as the EU has said that they needed to implement it by, so on the last day there. So what do they have to comply with then? Well, after the 20th of May 2016, it will be illegal to sell snus that is manufactured from that date without the new warning labels. So only snus made before 20th of May and that has already left the factories can be sold after that date. And then it can be sold for another year until the 20th of May 2017. And the old label cans can be sold as long as stock lasts. So the required changes to the cans are, now we have one warning label at the bottom of the cans. And that needs to stay, but now there will also be a requirement to have another warning label that goes around the cans. And it will not be allowed to show the amount of nicotine on the cans either. So needless to say, the manufacturers aren't too happy about the short implementation period of the new rules. So here we have a few words about this. First from Patrik Strömer, which is the Secretary General of Svenska Snustillverkarföreningen, which is the Swedish Snus Manufacturers Association. And he estimates that existing stock of snus at the 20th of May will last until around midsummer, but maybe as little as 3 weeks. So that would be sort of around the 10th of June in that case. Then we have Henrik Jakobsson, which is the CEO at Gotland Snus Jakobssons. He says that it will be entirely impossible to meet the deadline for them. Then Patrik Hildingsson at Swedish Match. He says that Swedish Match won't be able to change the production until the deadline either as a company. And he fears that there will be a period where there is no snus on the Swedish market. So now basically the snus manufacturers are up against redesigning the labels. They need to order for printing of the labels. They need to sort out the deliveries and change the settings for the machinery for the new labels as well. So the Public Health Agency of Sweden now sort of blames the Swedish government and Parliament for being late in implementing the EU Directive, which it's the EU Directive actually said that it had to be implemented on the 20th of May, and that's what's going to happen now. But I'm not sure. I have the European Parliament's directive here, but the manufacturers might not have been completely aware of what needed to be implemented, because they need the Swedish law for that, and that was only implemented after the government had, or after the parliament had introduced this new law in early April, so very recently. So they came out with these new guidelines straight after that, which means there's a really short deadline now. So in short, we could say that although the newspapers as always use big headlines, a bit like I did for this video as well, and scaremongering in their writing, there seems to be a real concern from the manufacturers, and there is a risk of stores running out of snus if the manufacturers can't ship the new cans before midsummer, or possibly before then. So we might see a situation where there is no snus for sale, or the snus that is sold is being sold illegally. So that's a little bit of information on what's going on right now, something that might affect you. So I thought I'd make this video for you. So you might want to consider stocking up on snus between now and late May, and we'll see what happens. And it'll be interesting to see all the details, what needs to go on the cans as well. I haven't actually seen the Swedish legislation yet, so this is brand new to me, really, that this short implementation period. I think the Swedish manufacturers weren't quite ready for that. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll go back to normal reviews again, I guess. Cheers.